Hi friends, welcome to our channel Plants, Crochet, Cooking and more. Today I'll show you a beautiful pattern for which we need stitches in the multiple of 6. So I am casting 6 into 424 plus 3 stitches. Now this is a beautiful pattern and the pattern consists of 4 rows. So my 27 stitches are ready. Out here 24 stitches are actually the pattern stitches and 2 stitches extra for stitching and 1 stitch extra is to balance the pattern. And here I'll be knitting all across to and fro so that I get a proper base for my pattern. So now this is my second row. This is also the foundation stitch. Let me tell you one thing, this pattern will look very beautiful in cardigans. So let us start off with the pattern. And now this is our first row. We slip 1 stitch and then we do a knit, but that has to be from the back side. Then I do a purl and then 3 knit, 1, 2 and 3. Now see carefully. What I do is I'll slip the 3rd stitch out of the needle and pass it through over the 2 stitches in the front. Then I do a purl and again a knit, but the needle has to be passed through the back side of the stitch. Now again purl and then 3 number of knit. The pattern has already started. This is our first row and the 3rd stitch we are going to pass it through the 2 stitches in front of it. Then a purl and then knit. That has to be done from the back side. So this is the sequence. Then again purl and then we are going to do 3 number of knit, 1, 2 and 3. Now the 3rd stitch will be passed over the 2 stitches in the front. Now again purl, again 1 knit, that is from the back loop. We are going to knit from the back loop, that is essential. Now again purl and again 3 knit, 1, 2 and 3, and the 3rd stitch has to be passed over the 2 stitches in the front. Now again purl and the next stitch will be a knit from the back loop and finishing off with a knit, that is the extra stitch kept for stitching. So our first row is over. Moving on to the second row, we slip the first stitch out, that is the extra stitch, and now this very stitch we are going to purl, but that has to be from the back loop. This was the knit in the front side which we had knitted from the back loop. Now that's the knit and now purl 1 and 2. That's actually the knit from the other side. Now again knit 1, purl but from the back loop, you must be a little careful while working on the back loops if you are not used to it. Now then a knit and then 2 number of purl, because 1 stitch has been decreased here by passing it over loop over the 2 stitches. Now again knit and purl through the back loop and then again knit 1 and yarn forward, purl 2 and again yarn back, knit 1, yarn forward, purl 1 from the back loop, again yarn backwards, knit 1, yarn forward, we are going to purl 2, then again yarn back, knit 1, yarn yarn forward, purl 1, that is from the back loop. Yes, and the last one we are just going to purl. So this completes the second row. Let's move on to the third row. We slip our first stitch and then we are going to knit from the back loop as we had done earlier. This is a third row. Then one purl and then knit 1. This is the point where we had done 3 knits. Now as our one stitch has decreased, so we need to get it back. So we do a yarn over and knit. So one stitch has increased. Then purl 1 and again knit 1 from the back. Purl 1. Now again here we have to make 3 stitches. So knit 1, yarn over, knit 1. So one stitch increases out here. Now purl 1, yarn backwards, knit through the back loop. Now in the right side of the work we are going to knit through the back loop, and on the wrong side we are going to purl through the back loop. That will give the perfect pattern. Now here we are doing a yarn over because in the first row we had passed the first stitch over the 2 stitches at the back, so there has been a decrease. So to balance the stitches, here we are doing a yarn over, and we do a knit. So our one stitch which we had lost in the first row is back again. So this row is complete. This is the third row. Now moving on to the fourth row, we take the stitch out, slip one stitch, and now we do a purl through the back loop. Then yarn backwards and we do a knit. Then purl 3, 1, 2 and 3. Now again yarn backwards, we do a knit. Yarn forward, we do a purl from the back. Yarn backwards, knit 1, yarn forward, we do 3 purl, 1, 2. Now this particular one is the increased stitch, so we must purl that. Please do not leave it behind thinking it to be something else. Now again knit 1, yarn forward, purl 1, that's the second, the increased stitch, and the third. That 3 stitch will become 3 knit on the right side of the work. Now again purl from the back loop. Now yarn backwards, knit 1, yarn forward, purl 3, 1, working on the loop 2 and 3. So now if you count the stitches, we will have 27 stitches as we had in the beginning of the pattern, because the stitches which we had slipped off, we have got it back. So our first pattern comprising of 4 rows is complete. Now I am moving to the very first row again. I slipped off a stitch, then I did a knit 1 from the back loop, then I did a purl, and now I knitted 3 stitches and I passed 1 stitch over the 2. Again I did a purl and then a knit from the back side, and again a purl and 3 number of knit, 1, 2 and 3. This is the first row of the pattern. Now the third stitch I'm going to pass over the 2 stitches in the front. Now again P1, knit 1 through the back loop, P1, and then a knit 3, and the third stitch I'm going to pass over the 2 stitches in the front. So that is the sequence we need to follow. Again purl 1, yarn backwards, knit 1 through the back loop. If you look at the stitches properly, you'll understand where we need to work through the back loops. It's actually a little bit twisted. Now that is knit 3, Now I'm going to pass the third stitch over the first two stitches. Now purl one, yarn backwards, knit through the back loop, and then I knit the last stitch. So this finishes our first row. Now second row, I slip off one stitch, then I'm going to do a purl through the back loop, then yarn backwards and I do a knit, and then yarn forward and I'm going to purl to 1 and 2. Again yarn backwards, knit 1, yarn forward, purl through the back loop, yarn backwards, knit 1, yarn forward, purl 2. So this is the sequence that we need to follow for the second row. This is an easy pattern. It will look beautiful in sweaters, cardigans, caps. The sweaters which we use in the summers or in spring, having this pattern will look beautiful as it is airy, and the pattern will look very beautiful in light colored yarns. So you can try that out. We are close to the end of the second row. That's the last purl which we need to do from the back loop and finishing off with the purl. Now this is a third row. I slip that stitch off. Now I'm going to do a knit through the back loop as we have been doing. Now purl 1, and here I just have 2 stitches, so we need to make it 3. So we do a knit, now yarn over and do another knit, so we get the stitch back. That means the stitch we had slipped off in this first row, we get it back in the third row. Now again purl 1. Now there is here, this is the step where we get back our lost stitch. Now again purl 1, yarn backwards, knit through the back loop, again yarn forward, purl 1, and this is the step we get back a stitch, knit 1, yarn over and knit 1. So this is the sequence that needs to be followed in the third row. Now if you want to use this pattern for your bigger projects, you have to take stitches in the multiple of 6 plus 2 for stitching and plus 1 to balance the pattern. That is the thing that is to be kept in mind while deciding the number of stitches you should cast. Now this pattern can be used in cardigans straight without the rib as well. That will also look nice without working the border which we usually see, or rib. We can just work straight away with the pattern also. That will also look beautiful. Now see, that is the loop, that is the increased loop, so we need to work carefully. We have to work purl on it. Please do not leave it behind. So this is the 4th row that I am working. That's the increased stitch. I hope you all are understanding the pattern. It is simple and easy. It is very easy to remember as it has just 4 rows. I am working on the 4th row. I have already reached midway. Now yarn backwards, I do a knit, yarn forward. I am going to do a purl from the back loop. Now yarn backwards, knit 1, yarn forward, purl 3, 1, the increased stitch 2, and 3. Yes. And now yarn backwards, I do a knit, yarn forward, I do a purl from the back loop, and then finishing off with the purl. So this is the pattern. I hope you all enjoyed the video as much as I did showing it to you all. Please do not forget to share, subscribe and comment. Hit the like button if you found the video interesting. If you are new to our channel, do take a moment to subscribe and stay tuned for more of interesting videos. So till we meet again, it is bye bye.